In the previous episodes, Cain defeats Tifana, making her one of the members of his harem. At the same time, Cain also obtains a magic book left by the first king of the kingdom. Through this book, Cain learns that the first king was a transmigrationer just like him. However, the first king traveled to this world with his body, and Cain was reborn in this world. The first king was originally an adventurer, and he later founded the country. So Cain also wants to be an adventurer. He comes to the Adventurers Guild and registers as an adventurer. Each adventurer starts with a G rank, and they need to level up by doing quests. Cain's former teacher is a D rank adventurer, and the first king was an SSS rank adventurer. There are good and bad people among adventurers. Several bad adventurers meet young Cain and try to bully him. However, Cain easily dodges their attacks. At this time, a red-haired adventurer helps Cain drive the hooligans away. Cain expresses his gratitude to him. The red-haired adventurer's nickname is Flame, and his wife is the adventurer nicknamed Ice. They are all rank adventurers. Cain becomes friends with them, and then they say goodbye to Cain and go on a mission. Cain decides to take a mission as well, and he wants to find a mission to hunt down monsters. Due to Cain's low level, he can only choose to fight low-level monsters such as goblins. As soon as Cain leaves the Adventurers Guild, Tifana comes to see him. When Tifana learns that Cain is going to fight against the goblins, she insists on this mission with him. Facing Tifana's adamant attitude, Cain can only agree to let her help. Later, he senses the location of the goblins in the forest through his powerful mana. After entering the forest, they find that the goblins are attacking a merchant. Cain heals the wounded merchant, and Tifana fights the goblins. As the strongest knight in the kingdom, she easily defeats these goblins. During the battle, Tifana fantasizes about her and Cain's happy life after marriage. It seems that this is just an easy fight for her. After Tifana defeats the goblins, a group of lizard monsters appears, which are more powerful than the goblins. Cain asks Tifana to flee first with the merchant, and he wants to defeat these lizard monsters with powerful magic. After Tifana and the merchant flee to safety, Cain defeats all the lizard monsters in an instant with a single spell. After that, Cain returns to the Adventurers Guild and reports his achievements to the guild's guide, who is surprised to hear that Cain defeats a group of lizard monsters alone. She immediately reports the incident to the manager of the Adventurers Guild. The manager doesn't believe that Cain, a G-rank adventurer, is capable of defeating a group of lizard monsters, because a single lizard monster has the same strength as a D-rank adventurer, and only a whole team of C-rank adventurers can fight a group of lizard monsters. So he directly decides that Cain was cheating and disqualifies Cain from being an adventurer. Fortunately, the leader of the Adventurers Guild arrives in time, and he instantly recognizes Cain's identity and demands an apology from the manager. It turns out that the leader is Tifana's older brother, and he has long heard that his sister's fiancé is Cain and how powerful Cain is. The manager and the guide are very surprised when they hear about Cain's identity, especially the manager. Since Cain is a baron and the manager is just a commoner, the manager's defamation of Cain for cheating is a very serious crime. The manager immediately kneels down to apologize to Cain, hoping that Cain will forgive him. Cain does not blame the manager but asks him not to be wrong about others in the future and to investigate before making a judgment. After learning that Cain has defeated a group of lizard monsters, the guild leader decides to raise Cain's level to C rank, but Tifana thinks that the C rank is still too low for Cain, who was able to defeat the dragon alone at the age of 10, and has also defeated her. This can prove that Cain is more powerful than a rank adventurers. The guild leader agrees with Tifana, but even if Cain is strong enough, he can't break the rules. So the guild leader asks Cain to perform a B-rank adventurer's mission for leveling up, which is to defeat the bandit group. As long as Cain completes this task, he will be promoted to an A-rank adventurer. Meanwhile, the gods in the divine realm are watching Cain's actions. They are relieved to see Cain become strong, but they don't think Cain is strong enough because the sealed demon lord is about to awaken, and Cain needs to get stronger so that he can have a chance to defeat the demon lord. Therefore, they decide to find a new teacher for Cain. One morning, a few days later, Cain is woken up by his maid. Today is the day of the entrance exam to the Royal Academy, but when Cain wakes up, he is already late. Fortunately, Cain has the ability to teleport, and he teleports himself directly to the examination site. Cain then receives the admission ticket and enters the examination room. Telestia and Silk are also taking the exam today, and strangely, Cain doesn't see them in the examination room. The first exam is a written exam, which Cain completes quickly. The examiner then tests the candidate's level of magic. She says that the examination site is protected by magic, so the candidates can use their full strength without worrying about destroying the examination site. Cain knows that if he really uses his full strength, the examination site will definitely be destroyed. So he casts only one of the simplest magics, but even so, he still destroys the examination site. After the magic exam, the final exam comes in which the candidates will be tested on their combat ability. The examiners are all adventurers and they will test the candidates' level through battles. The red-haired adventurer Kane saw before is one of the examiners. So the red-haired adventurer offers to be Kane's examiner. Under normal circumstances, the examiner does not need to be so serious and they only need to show part of their strength. But the red-haired adventurer can tell that Kane is very powerful, so he fights Kane with all his might. After the fierce battle, Kane is quickly recognized as getting full marks. Now he can go home and wait for the result of the exam. Soon the king learns of Kane's test result. The academy issues a ticket, and Kane needs to pay a fine for destroying the examination site. The king discovers that Kane has actually gone to the wrong examination site. This exam is held in two sites, one for the commoners and the other for the nobles. Kane was supposed to go to the latter, but he went to the wrong one. That's why he didn't meet Telestia and Silk in the examination site. But no matter which examination site Kane is in, he will definitely get full marks. Instead of directly announcing Kane's result, the king asks him to look it up on the notification board like other candidates. Near the notification board, Kane meets Silk, who ranks second, and Telestia wins third place. Undoubtedly, Kane ranks first. Kane's family and friends are very happy. Kane, who wins first place, needs to deliver a speech as the student representative. After he takes the stage, he tells the fact that he went to the wrong examination site but is still admitted to the Royal Academy. He uses this incident as an example to illustrate that although nobles and commoners enter different examination sites, it doesn't mean that they are different, and they are all equal in the Royal Academy. Later, the king arrives and makes a speech. The whole site is filled with applause and the freshman's speech ends perfectly. The Royal Academy offers a lot of courses, and in the first class, students need to choose their own courses. Kane chooses 4 subjects, namely nobility, adventuring, magic, and magic items. It will be tough for ordinary people to learn 2 subjects such as Telestia, who chooses nobility and internal affairs, and she chooses the latter because she wants to help Kane manage the domain in the future. Silk chooses the nobility and commerce, hoping to help Kane make money in the future. After the first class, Kane discovers that several noble students are bullying a common student. The commoner is Kane's childhood friend, a demi-human girl. Kane is angry and stops the noble students who were taught a lesson by Kane before. Just then, Telestia and Silk come to stop them. Telestia, as the princess of the kingdom, represents the authority of the king. The noble students are instantly frightened, and they immediately kneel down to apologize and ask for the forgiveness of the demi-human girl. After that, the demi-human girl expresses her gratitude to Kane. Telestia and Silk think that the demi-human girl seems to like Kane too, so they talk about him together. In the next second, Kane suddenly hears a man's voice which can only be heard by Kane. The man asks him to meet him in the library. Kane is curious, so he teleports himself directly to the library. At the library, Kane unexpectedly meets a man who is making coffee. It is he who asks Kane out, and he even knows the name of Kane's previous life. Who is this mysterious man? The gods found Kane a mysterious master, Yuya, who turned out to be the first king of the kingdom. Yuya, like Kane, comes from Earth. He is over 300 years old but still looks like a young man. This is because Yuya has become a god, so he does not grow old. Yuya needs to train Kane to be stronger, but Kane thinks he's strong enough. To test him, Yuya asks Kane to snatch the cookies from his hand while Kane fails instantly. That's when Yuya reveals to Kane that he sealed a demon king Eren 300 years ago. But the seal has weakened recently, and Eren, who has the power to create wars and destroy the world, may be awakening. Yuya and the gods cannot interfere with issues happening in the mortal world directly, so they place hope on Kane to defeat Eren. But now Kane is apparently not strong enough and he needs to be trained. Yuya then takes Kane to a magical island he created. Here, a year is like a day in the normal world. Kane needs to defeat the various powerful monsters on the island to reach the house located at the highest part of the island. Kane has never faced an opponent who could pose a threat to him. But encountering the powerful and numerous monsters on this island, Kane feels the pressure for the first time. Meanwhile, Kane's family and comrades have found him missing. Yet they're not worried because Kane is strong in their eyes. But in fact, Kane is now facing a crisis. His physical strength and magic power have been exhausted while there are still many monsters nearby. Just then, Kane spots a wounded white wolf. As he heals the white wolf with his only remaining magical power, he blacks out. Luckily, when Kane is unconscious, the white wolf defeats nearby monsters and protects him. Replenished, Kane finally wakes up. He quickly becomes partners with the white wolf. They fight and adventure on the island together. 4 years later, Kane manages to reach the highest house. Both he and the white wolf have grown up a lot. Now he can summon or hide the white wolf at any time through magic. But Kane's training doesn't end here. Yuya finds Kane a powerful warrior Durain as his opponent. Only if he defeats Durain does his training reach the final success. However, Kane loses to Durain the first time. Durain then takes Kane home to take care of him and they will live together until Kane wins. Before Kane starts the training with Durain, Yuya tells Kane a secret. Kane is an orphan, but he was not abandoned by his parents. It turns out that Kane's parents, along with Yuya, were summoned to another world. They fought and adventured together, becoming stronger with Yuya. However, they died in the final showdown with Eren. In other words, Eren is Kane's enemy. When Kane learns about this, his will becomes firmer. In the following year, Durain and Kane fight almost every day. Although Kane loses every battle, he isn't discouraged because he has to be stronger. After continuous training, Kane manages to beat Durain. After that, Kane comes to his parents' grave to mourn them. Yuya tells Kane that they had been thinking about him until they died, and they kept looking for a way to return to Earth. Hearing this, Kane is so moved that he couldn't help crying. Suddenly, Yuya takes out a cookie, and this time Kane grabs the cookie instantly, which means Kane already has the strength to fight Eren. Yuya recognizes Kane's strength and agrees to transport him back to the original world. To prevent Kane's family from being surprised, Yuya also changes Kane's body to what it was 5 years ago. Before he leaves, Durain gives him a dragon as a pet, and Yuya also gives him a sword. When Kane returns to his own world, he has been considered to be missing for 5 days. His family and comrades are all very worried about him. During the days he was missing, Telestia and Silk learn to bake cookies while waiting for him. When they bring out the hand-baked cookies, Kane is very touched, immediately eating them up. For Kane, he hasn't seen them for 5 years, and he misses the life so much. So don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I will bring more exciting anime in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.